What's going on, everybody? Red Velvet's back, and today I have my wife, and we are here. I guess we're going to call this the Velvet Life, and we get to talk about our life as it's been since, I don't know when we recorded last, but
before chaos ensued, probably
before
for
the summer of hell.
I'm pretty sure.
I think it was.
Maybe that's when we did our last Facebook Live was before.
Might have been. Lots happened.
Or maybe just after the first incident.
Maybe. I don't know. We can just recap.
Mm-hmm. Been a summer.
Our vacation went well. Vacation went very well.
Let's backtrack. We need to give timestamps. This is June.
Okay. June of 20.
So school gets out, and then, first we had all the chaos of senior year for Kai.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went on vacation.
Fun
right?
Fun.
About the first week of June.
Yeah.
And then when we get back, 2 days later,
on Father's Day.
It was not on Father's Day. It was on Monday when I went
to. She started complaining.
Yes, but it was not like an elevated pain at that point.
No, she just said, "Dad, my stomach hurts." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever."
Mm-hmm.
There's Terry jumping up on my chair.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get Terry in a minute. If you were on the live stream last night, I was yelling at Terry all night because he kept clawing me while I was playing my video games.
Why didn't you pause it and then put him outside?
Because I was live streaming.
Can you still pause the game?
I can, but the fans don't want to see a pause game. They'd rather hear me yell at the cat. Anyway, let's backtrack. We're at vacation.
My teeth are probably blue. I just realized from that gum.
Huh?
My teeth, are they blue?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not at all.
Stop it.
But yeah, we get back from vacation, and Vivian, come to find out, had appendicitis and required surgery.
Yep. We went to the walk-in clinic, and then he referred us to the ER. And then from there, pretty much said, "Hey, you're not leaving, and you're likely going to have surgery tomorrow, the following day."
Yeah.
So she did have surgery, and then stayed there another night, and then finally got out, recovered somewhat from that.
Yeah.
Doctor appointments every week, right? For follow-up. I think we had a follow-up the following week. And then the week after that was when, it was like a week. It was like, the week after that, we went back for a follow-up. Yeah. It was like 2 weeks after surgery.
Yeah.
She got cleared-ish. But then that same week, Kai got hurt.
On the 4th of July.
Yes. I always have to tell people, when I say this story, because it's like, I talk about his hand getting injured on the 4th of July, and people immediately think a firework blew up on his hand.
Nope, wasn't firework.
It was not.
He dropped a golf cart on his hand, and I didn't say. I said golf cart. Yeah, he tried to pick up a golf cart because his buddy drove over a tree stump and got said golf cart stuck. And if you know Kai, he's really proud of his strength. And he did pick up that front end of that golf cart. I don't know how heavy that is. I'm sure it's not light. But he was also wearing flip-flops. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. And kaboom! Golf cart lands on said hand.
Yes, I don't know. I never got the full story as how his hand ended up under the golf cart. Because usually I would try to pick it up from the side, not underneath it.
What could have happened, now that we were 6 months removed,
Not in 6 months.
Yeah, close enough. I'm betting he picked up the front end at an angle around the tire. But it was the frame where the side frame was probably sitting on said tree stump, and then kaboom, frame, tree stump, finger. Anyway, I wake up, I go to bed.
Yeah, I have to tell this part of the story. So, we both went to bed.
Yeah.
And we knew, yes, that's true. But we knew he was at a friend's house, no big deal. It's 4th of July. I think he even said he was going to stay there overnight. I can't remember.
No, I texted him before I fell asleep. I said, "Are you coming home or not? I'm locking the door."
Okay. And he said, "Yeah, I am."
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I wake up. I see I had a missed call from a random, bless you. Unless you didn't snot up all over your coverall there.
My coverall is sweet. Anyway,
maybe I was gonna start calling it coverall.
It's not a bingo card.
So I see I had a missed call, and then I get up and I go look and I don't see Kai's truck there. And I was like, okay, well, let me call him. Because at this point, it was about 2 a.m., I want to say.
Mhm.
So I just called him just to see, because again, I just had a random phone call and no answer. So then I tried to call the number back, no answer. Then I realized, hey, let me check my Life 360. So I go onto my Life 360 and I see that he's in Terre Haute. Again, not really crazy. Like, sometimes boys make, not the greatest decisions.
Maybe they want to go to IHOP.
Right. So I saw he was in Terre Haute. But then I zoom in. You're like distracted.
Well, there's a cat running around here. It's not Terry, it's Batman. Or is that Luna?
It's Luna. I don't know. It's one of the black ones.
Everyone's climbing around, I call Batman.
So I zoom in and then I see that he is at the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I freaked out. I will go to wake up Evan. I said, you need to wake up. Kai's at Union. I don't know what's going on. Tried to call Kai again, no answer. And then I finally was like, okay, I've got to call the ER. So I called the ER and I asked them, I was like, hey, I'm trying to find my son. I see that he's there. Is he a patient? And the moment she said, yes, he's a patient there, I kind of like was waiting for probably the worst possible news. Like,
oh yeah, 2 o'clock in the morning on 4th of July. Yeah, you're not thinking, oh, he just came over to say hi, or he wanted some chicken nuggets. It was.
Yeah. So
I was expecting a car crash. Is that our cat? Oh, he's blocked on my cut. There he is. That's Batman. Anyway.
So I, of course, like, again, just was waiting for the worst possible news. And she told me because he was 18, there was only so much information they could give me. So she said, he is a patient here. He's okay. I'm going to have him call you. So once she got the phone, he called me maybe less than a minute later and then got some of the details. But at that point, I was already ready to get going to the ER. And but yeah, I mean, when I got to the ER is when I got a call from that missed number again. And it was from the paramedic. So before I went into the ER to go see him, I had already gotten a little bit of a rundown from the paramedic, letting me know, like, hey, it's not life-threatening, anything like that. But I still didn't know what I was walking into when they said his hand, all of those big words, injured, blood.
Mangled. That was
mangled.
That was the word I received on the voicemail. Your son's hand has been mangled.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's gone.
Yeah. And mind you, he had already committed to go into the Army National Guard and was leaving for basic training in September. So a severe hand injury was not a great thing at that point. I mean, it never is, obviously, but it's something that could definitely impact his basic training, depending on how severe it was, or it could have, honestly, I was thinking it was going to eliminate him from being able to pursue that career, as in he lost part of the finger, just, you never know.
Exactly. You never know. And when I first heard that voicemail, I was like, all right, his hand's gone. How are we going to operate life now? And then I was a nervous wreck. And then when you told me, you're like, he called me, he's fine. I said, good, because I'm going to kill him. I said that straight up because I didn't know. I thought he was doing something dumb, which I don't know if picking up a golf cart at 1 a.m. in flip flops is exactly smart. Is that cat getting ready to jump on me?
No,
okay.
He's over there.
Well, they like to jump on me from behind.
Really?
Yeah, and sink their claws into me. Jerks. But so we start getting through that. He comes home, yeah. And the good thing is there was no break, there was no tears, nothing.
No nerve damage. There's no nerve damage.
No nerve damage, no ligament tears.
Right.
And no breaks.
Right.
He just had a laceration.
But he had 13 stitches into his left middle finger. So mind you how big your finger is, putting 13 stitches, like usually it's like 1 or 2, but he had 13. So literally the whole, if you want to dig into your finger, if it would have gone anymore, the whole finger would have been gone.
Yep.
And so.
Yep. Well, and I received, me knowing everybody, it feel like I ran into the paramedic. He was a friend of mine. And he told me, he goes, man, we didn't know what to expect with your son. He goes, we actually had the air-evac on standby. And I'm like, oh crap. Because he took a 20-mile ambulance ride to the hospital. Imagine if he was taking a helicopter ride. Wow.
And he took an ambulance because he freaked out.
Oh, he freaked out. No, and that was and based upon the description they received, that's what it was. But
yeah,
I always joke. I'm like, took a 20-mile ambulance ride for a finger, because hindsight being 2020, it's like, yeah.
Right.
So his car mysteriously ended up at home.
Yeah. So I think where it was parked, I could not see it in the driveway because he would have parked in the open spot. Yeah. Well, whoever it was had actually ended up parking behind my car or something weird. And so when I walked by, I couldn't see it out there. So it was a odd parking job. And I just knew, I was like, that's why I thought it wasn't home. But yeah, somehow it ended up home.
Yeah. Well, long story short.
Yeah, I know this is a long story. Okay.
His finger.
Go ahead.
Oh, his finger, he's fine. His middle finger may be like 2 inches thick now due to scar tissue.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we haven't seen him in a while. So hopefully.
Maybe gone down.
I know.
When he left, it was about 2 inches thick.
Yeah. So he did get cleared to go to basic training. I was still worried at that point because he had some sensitivity, I would say. Still some just issue with bearing weight on it. And, you do a lot of push-ups in basic training. That's true. I was a little nervous about that. True. But, that happened on a Friday night, Saturday morning. That Monday, we were back in a follow-up appointment with his hand surgeon. And she took a look at it, said, wouldn't need surgery, just was following it super closely. Well, then that Friday, so a week after Kai got injured, right? That following Friday is when pretty much Vivian had gotten cleared that week from her appendix being removed. I decided, okay, you can go back to softball practice the next week, get back into like a normal, routine of things. We're outside Friday night. It was getting a little dark. I was out there playing wiffle ball with the girls. So it was Vivian, Anna, and Josie, their cousin, who were out there playing wiffle ball. And Vivian's in the field. Josie's up to bat. This is the last pitch. I tell the girls, this is it, because literally you could not see. It's how dark.
I just pulled in from the movies.
Right. I was like, this is the last pitch. And Josie hit the pitch. And Vivian dove somehow for this ball. And she hit her thumb in some way. And she gets up. And actually, I have all this on video, like audio. I don't know why I was recording at that point, but I had my phone. I had my phone out, so I have this all on audio. And she gets up and she's like, "My it's crooked." So it literally was kind of pointing in the wrong direction, and it was hurting her. And I'm like, okay. And then I think we came inside, and I think I took a look at it and look, I'm not one to run to the ER either. I'm really not. No. And going back to even Vivian with her appendicitis, the only reason why I brought her to the walk-in clinic, because I thought, okay, it's just this tummy ache, no big deal. But the only reason why I brought her was because then she spiked a fever. Yep. And with that fever is always like a sign of infection. But obviously she wasn't, shouldn't have a sinus issue or anything like that I could tell. So I was like, you know what, with this fever, those are 2 little marks, we're going. And so with Vivian, I want to say that it started swelling up really badly, or
we waited a couple hours.
No, we did not.
Okay. It felt like
maybe it was like an hour. Maybe it was like, I said, let's put some ice on it, but there was something else. And I can't remember I think it was the direction it was pointing.
Because it was a pretty hefty.
It was like 35 degrees in the other direction.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, we're going to go to the ER again. And again, I worry because Kai, when he was much, much younger, he had a dislocated elbow and fractured it at a playground. But the issue with that is that he lost blood flow to his elbow. And so with that, I mean, he lost it to his arm. Let me correct myself. So if I wouldn't have brought him, well, actually, if he wouldn't have been brought in, like, then that's all that blood that's not going to your arm.
Right.
Okay. So in this case, thinking about it, I'm like, well, you don't want to go overnight. And then in the morning, it's black or purple.
Right.
It needs to be taken off. So brought her in, x-rayed, broken or fractured, I guess, dislocated and fractured.
Yes.
So
just beyond the point of where you just need a splint.
Yeah. So he was not confident in like resetting it or anything. So then referred us to specialists. We ended up at the specialist the following week on Monday. And then he's like, hey, we need to go in there surgically to reset it and then put pins in it. So she had 3 pins and then her second surgery of the summer. And then I want to say that same week, we had a follow-up with Kai. It's literally every single week I was at the union. We were there because we were in the ER, we were in surgery, or we were in a follow-up appointment all summer.
Yep.
Until after school started.
Yep.
And then she finally, because Vivian, her hand probably took longer to heal than her appendix.
Yeah. And the whole time Anna, who is the wild child, and will do dives off of all sorts of stuff because she's fearless. Not a scratch.
No.
Not a scratch. And Batman.
He's going down.
Okay. So that's kind of what happened on the personal side.
Yes.
Then the business sides.
Yeah.
Where do we start?
I would say we start with Overhaul Co in April, May. Because that's when I made the decision with Overhaul Co. So for those who don't know, I own a small business. It's called Overhaul Co. We have a storefront in the Haute City Center. We also have a trailer that we travel around. We do pop-up events, markets in the local area. And we're known for our permanent jewelry. However, we also do like embroidered apparel, not logoed embroidered apparel through that business, but like I would do like Christmas themed embroidered apparel, or I would do like summertime themed, or like mama, or anything like that. So in May, I want to say it was May.
Yeah.
I have just been getting very kind of overwhelmed with that business, and creatively was in a rut with it. And so I decided in May, I was like, you know what, something's got to change. And so I decided to basically niche down in that business and focus on sports and spirit is what I've narrowed it down to. So all we produce there is sports themed apparel. So like baseball shirts, softball themed shirts, basketball. We've done football. So anything that's just like a generic sport. So you want like a game day shirt, football related, that's what we were producing. And then spirit, which we've done spirit gear for, again, a couple of years, but for the local high schools, for like Northview High School, Terre Haute South, Terre Haute North, West Vigo, all of the local schools in the Terre Haute area. So I was like, you know what, we're going to niche down and all we're going to do is sports and spirit. And I started on that track in May. June hit, and with all of the kid stuff, like it was one of the best decisions I had made for Overhaul Co. in a way that I wasn't constantly chasing like holidays and having to do something for Mother's Day and Father's Day and like specific shirt ideas or sweater ideas. And so with the craziness that we had in the summertime with our kids, again, it was kind of like perfect timing to niche down, focus, and come July, once things kind of settled down a little bit with our children, like towards the end of July, man, was able to kind of share that more on Overhaul Co. And our customers have just really taken to it and have absolutely loved the apparel that we're putting out through Overhaul Co.
It's cool to see, because I remember we were talking about that in April. You're like, you were so overwhelmed and it was just miserable. And you know, that was cool. And then like the Dinerpod pivoting to sports, food, and fun. And doing all that. I mean, I'm going to make the official announcement. I've only been asked 358 times. Jared went on. He wanted to do his own thing, and we split the business, split all the equipment, all the assets, and ended good. I wish him well. And now it's just sports, food, and fun. And it's been, if you've seen, there's a lot of sports going on. A lot of people care about their sports, and just now the whole goal is to talk sports, talk food, because I'm fat, and have fun. And there's a world of negativity, and I want my platform to be an escape. And that's what the new focus has been.
And I think we both have just found that that's where we absolutely love being, in that world of the youth sports, local youth sports, whether it's supporting, our local leagues or schools, planning events for Northview High School, the football organization, the parent club that I helped with, throughout all of the years Kai was playing football, to volunteering at, the local softball league, and you volunteer at the local football league on the board, and we help out just pretty much wherever we can. We have our limits, but it's just something that I just feel like we've loved.
Passions.
Absolutely. And that's honestly, that's the world I grew up in. I grew up living at ball fields, not football fields, but my local little league. And this is back in the 90s. So let's just put that in perspective. On a random Thursday night, my mom would drop us off at the baseball field, even though we didn't have any games at all, drop us off there and give us a few bucks and then leave us there until 9:30 at night. It was like, it was a built-in kind of childcare for her almost. Yeah. But we had grown up in it, from the time I was 5-6 years old playing peewee, and all the people that we knew there, being recognized, everybody's looking out for us, playing wall ball, running in the woods, get at the concession stand. Everybody knew us, so it was never really concerned. And then from that world, obviously played like youth basketball at the YMCA, soccer was very short-lived for me.
So much running.
Once I kicked a boy in the not so great place.
In the no square?
I was in the no square. Maybe is that? Yeah.
Hey, don't touch me there. That is my no square.
I was like, Jasmine, maybe you're not cut out for the soccer thing. And so, but from there, I did play, little league softball. We started in slow pitch out down there back then. So I played slow pitch softball. And then that picked up into the travel leagues, obviously, while I still played rec.
So you did travel and rec?
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
And how far did you travel in your travel?
Oh my goodness. For travel, I probably started when I was about 8 years old, I would say. And my dad probably is watching this and he'll correct me, playing baseball. I started travel baseball, and then I did travel slow pitch softball on several teams. And then, of course, that progressed into fast pitch softball. But when I want to say I was like, I had to have been 10, and I flew out to Oklahoma. I flew up to Ohio. We would drive up to Georgia. And mind you, at that point in time, my parents were not travelers. So I literally traveled with these teams who would invite me to play with them. Sometimes even being picked up for just one tournament. So, or two. Yeah. That's when I was younger. And then when I was in Arizona, I would travel to, obviously within Arizona, but then California and Nevada and just all of the local states there too. So, yeah.
Wow.
So,
and then that transitioned into high school.
High school.
And you played at Bloomingdale? Bloomingdale Bulls?
Yeah.
So bad, man.
Who's somebody that it was from my high school?
He's not from your high school.
Who?
Mr. Wonderful Paul
No, Aaron Andrews.
Oh, Aaron Andrews.
Come on.
Oh, you also had what's his name?
Mark Consuelos.
No, not that guy. This guy actually played football. His name was Chad Bradsky.
Oh, okay.
Chad Bratsky was from your high school as well.
I don't know who that is.
He played at Central Michigan, and he had a long career in the NFL.
Mm.
I think he played for the Dolphins at one point in time. But Chad Bratsky, Mark Consuelos, and Aaron Andrews. But at your rival high school, Brandon High School, for all the wrestling fans, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff was a running back. And then he also threw the shot put, I believe, for the track team. And then he went on to the University of Tampa, and then he became one of the biggest rivals for Hulk Hogan back in the mid-'80s during the hottest part of Hulkamania. It was called the Brandon Bull. And that's when I first was trying to figure out your high school stuff. I go, they literally named a high school after Paul Orndorff because I thought you were the Bloomingdale or the Brandon Bulls.
I should have gone there.
What was Brandon's mascot?
Eagles.
Oh, well, it should have been the Bulls.
I know.
Paul
it was
Orndorff,
Bloomingdale Bulls. We're the Bloomingdale Bulls.
So I'm wondering if there was a Paul Orndorff fan that was on the board that got Bloomingdale started, and we're gonna name this is a bad boy Paul Orndorff. Anyway.
Yeah. So anyways, I grew up playing and just immersed into that world. And then I joke that he grew up in the bleachers.
I did.
As the spirit team captain.
I was.
In high school.
I played football too. I mean,
but you were jumping off the bleachers when? When did that happen?
The same year
Painting your naked chest.
Same year I started playing football.
Really?
And that was the thing is I lacked this thing that people have. It's called confidence when I was younger. I still kind of do sometimes. And I didn't think I was good enough or big enough or strong enough to play. Because when I was in high school, I was about 100. I think I started playing football. I was 175 pounds.
Yeah, I told you several times. I probably wouldn't have dated you in high school because you're like.
That's okay. But then what had happened was we played touch football in PE, and I was catching everything in sight. And they said, you should probably play football. I'm like, okay. And then I did. And that's what I am so passionate about football with is that helped me become who I am today. And without football, I wouldn't be who I am. It got me out of my shell. I was a shy kid. I know it's hard to believe, but I was very shy. I wore glasses. I was a nerd, and I did like wrestling. I've been a lifelong fan, and that's why I'm so passionate about football. And that's why I want every kid to play football, really, because it makes you learn on the fly. Like if you don't give your all, you're getting the crap knocked out of you. And that's what I wholeheartedly believe. And you build brotherhood. I'm not saying these other sports did. I mean, I played baseball until I was in 4th grade, and I happily retired because I sucked. But like football, you were spent so much time with these guys and girls now. But back when I played, you spent so much time with your brothers and especially the linemen. You had such a connection. You knew what everybody was doing. Every play, you knew what the next guy beside you was doing, what the guy on the other side of the line was doing. You knew everything. You knew what everybody was doing. Everybody had a job, and that's why I always tell the kids, you don't got to be a superstar. Just do your job. If you do your job, you're going to win the game. Just do your job. That's all you got to do. Yep. Do a job. Or what did Coach Rendon always tell me? Be a man. Do your job. No excuses. And that's a good motto to live life by, really. But so started playing that, and then that's when the super fan came around. Me and Derek Head, we were called Team Moorhead, and we would literally fight each other in the bleachers, like Mortal Kombat. They'd always play the Mortal Kombat theme song, and we would air fight each other. Now we're talking like diving off the bleachers, doing all sorts of stuff. And then baseball season rolled around. And baseball was pretty quiet, pretty low key,
quiet sport.
Yeah. And then I showed up. Me and Derek Head showed up, and we were literally doing flips off the bleachers onto the steel, and just loving it, living it up. Nicole Gonzalez was the trainer there when I was in school, and
she took care of you when you.
Yeah, she also called me some choice words because there was one time I was so sunburned because I just would wear a wife beater and basketball shorts, and so sunburned my shoulders blistered up and everything. I went to do a flip and I landed right on my back, and then blisters they all busted. Then I started bleeding, like I was busted open. She just poured rubbing alcohol on my shoulder and said, "This is what you get from an idiot." And I go, "That's fair." But just traveling around and supporting the teams and your fellow classmates, and just showing pride in the name on the front of the uniform. That was always cool. And that's what I'm trying to do now with this brand is, I want to put Brazil on the map. Not like because we're the meth capital of the world or anything like that. But I want to put it's fun. Like Brazil's a good town. I know people crap on it, and that's fine. You can crap on it if you want. You suck too. But Brazil's a good town. It's a safe town, and it's just fun. And there's been some big names come out of Brazil. We got Orville Redenbacher, Jimmy Hoffa.
And I'll add, like, especially someone that moved here from a large area.
Yeah. I hate her town. No offense.
Living here again, just 180 for sure from where I grew up.
Can I tell the story of us driving across town the first time?
Well,
we were at my parents' house and we had to go to Northview, and you're like, we got to leave. And I'm like, the game is not, we don't have to leave for like 2 hours. Like, we got to get across town. So as an example, we left right when she had to. And 5 minutes later, we were across town in the parking lot. I go, so what are we doing with the other hour and 45 minutes? So.
Yeah. Well, because getting across town there, it's a 45-minute hour drive. No, regardless of where you're going, it's that long just for the traffic. So, but what was I gonna say?
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna move on.
Move on.
Are you okay over there?
I had to burp.
Oh,
I didn't want my Marios to come back.
You just kept your mouth closed and burped and chest
it,
burp.
It could have been like a throw up. I don't know. I don't want to throw up.
Yeah, we did have Marios. We don't want to give Mario's a bad name.
No, Mario's a great place. Been here since 1999.
Very good. Very good tonight.
It was very good. I remember when it used to be one room.
Really?
The front room used to be the only part of the restaurant.
Oh.
They've slowly expanded.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they had the back part too, but that was always closed off.
Yeah. Still learning about all these things about Brazil.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah.
But and then the summer. So we had the summer help pass through that. We get to our son leaving. Our son.
Oh yeah.
Can I tell the story of the day prior to?
I don't even remember what happened.
Well, so I've been a nervous parent, because Kai's Kai sometimes, and like every parent, we think our children are dumb sometimes. No, I mean that in the nicest way, but like not prepared or whatever. And so I was scared. I'm like, dude, I don't know if he's gonna like make it because he doesn't pay attention sometimes, but maybe that's just to me. And I was very proud when we went to ship out because he had his clothes laid out. I don't know if you did that or he did that. Okay, that was all him. Had his clothes all laid out, and it was checking his bag 2 or 3 times. How many times when I coached him in football, I'd make him do that, and he would fight me on it and be like, I don't need to do that. And then he like almost forget his helmet, and luckily I packed his bag.
Or the amount of times he forgot his girdle.
He would forget his girdle or his football jersey. He's forgotten that one. So I'm like, this kid's like really trying. So the next day, or maybe that night, I don't know, he tells us, he goes, we're getting to the recruitment office an hour early, an hour and a half early. And I'm like, I'm not going to sit in that parking lot for an hour and a half. So we made a deal. We got to Avon an hour and a half early, and we kind of goofed off for 45 minutes.
We had to make a couple last minute stops to get some things.
But we were in the parking lot 30 minutes early. We beat that place there before they opened. And he went in, he was dialed in, locked in, and I was like, who's this kid? And I was just watching him just do what he did. He was attentive. And then we get to the airport and
super confident.
We stood back because I wasn't going to walk him through. I'm like, you're getting ready to go through basic training. You're on your own now, pal. Watched him go through the airport, and he was $1 million. I was like, wow, this kid.
And they kind of give us some options too. Like we could just leave him at the recruiting office and say our goodbyes there, or we could go to the airport and, just say our goodbyes there before they walk through security. Or they even said due to military, I guess, just rules or allowances, like we could have gone to the gate with him, even though he was already 18. Because usually you can only go to a gate with someone if they're a child. So, I told him, I said, whatever you want us to do, I didn't want to force it and say, well, I'm walking you to the gate, but he said, I'd like for you to go to the airport. And that was great. Got to, have one little quick last meal at Chick-fil-A. I don't even think we ate. No, he did. Ate Chick-fil-A and then said our goodbyes right before he went through security. And luckily he has flown on a plane before, unlike you. And he's actually even flown by himself before to visit family members. And so he was a little bit aware of what to do and, protocol and such. And so I guess I wasn't too concerned with them.
No.
But yeah, you'll get to go on your first plane ride next month.
At the age of 36, I'm going on my first plane ride. I've been to the airport 58 times.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been on a plane.
Right.
I'm there for pickup and drop off. But...
So our girls, since they're gone right now and they took an airplane, they're going to show you the ropes when they
That's fine.
Go with you to the airport.
Vivian's been on a plane before.
When she was like a baby.
Yeah. You wouldn't let Lovey Smith hold our daughter.
Yeah. Oh, we're not going down that conversation.
The coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offered to hold our daughter.
I didn't realize who he was. But you know me, Miss Independent, don't need no man.
Oh, God, and I'm a strong woman, don't need no man.
Right? So that's why.
Yeah.
It was just.
But we got him through there, and we've gotten one letter, and he has a couple nicknames, but I'll let him tell the nicknames. And he said this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I feel like he's going to excel.
But he did say the food wasn't as bad as he thought it would be.
No, he must have got the good MREs.
They eat more than just that. They do feed them like food. So yeah. But I will say, compared to 6 months ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, communication now is a lot different than it was, say, 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they were able to call a lot more back home. But now it's kind of back to how it used to be, like I will say pre-COVID, to where they are only calling very, very infrequently. And actually, my brother had said that he never got to call.
Oh, really?
In the Marine boot camp. It was just letters.
Oh.
So because I told him that we hadn't really heard from him or anything. And yeah, for the Marines, it's just letters again. But now that was 20 years ago. Right. So I think that's something for us parents now who are going through this, or their children are, joining the military, is that it's now kind of back to the pre-COVID standards of communication. So that's why we haven't heard from him much. They do have social media, like not Kai, but his battalion. Well, right now, not necessarily, because of the government shutdown. So there's a lot. They haven't been posting pictures on their site? Not on social media, no. Oh. And I even had seen recently where those other pictures are very, very limited right now. Oh, really? Because shut down. Oh, so I didn't know that. Yeah, so that doesn't help either. No, it's a little tough. And that's why the mail even is slow back and forth. So, we haven't gotten any letters but that one, and I don't know if he's getting my letters either. I don't know. So I guess we'll hear from him when we see him in a month. It'll be about a month from today. Yeah, pretty close. But then we had a pivot. Another pivot. September. Was it in September? It was about September. This is something else I had. You blamed me because I made a post. Oh, well, yeah, I did blame you. It wasn't blame, though. That was homecoming. It was a push in the direction that we had chatted about going. And so okay, let's back up a second. We have Haute Co, which is our retail storefront, boutique, whatever you want to call it. We sell sports and spirit gear and permanent jewelry. Then we have the Dinerpod, which is what? Sports, food, and fun. Can you put him down? Okay, sports, food, and fun. Yeah. And then we have Stitched, embroidery and custom apparel. Okay, which is the more commercial side of the business, where we would work with other small businesses. You bring us like a logo, we would have it digitized, embroider it, screen printing, all of that. Again, back to the overwhelm that I felt as a business owner. And there's a lot of reasons why I think I felt a lot of overwhelm, is because of all the directions that I'm being split in. Okay. And sometimes when we would get some logo work, it would just kind of be, okay, we got to take this on and we got to do it. And it would be overwhelmed because there's a lot of communication too that goes into those projects with someone who brings you a logo for their small business. And I think that was a big part of it, was just all the back and forth and sizes and garments and logo and finalizing. And that took a lot away from the retail business, because mind you, our retail business is at that right now 90% of the income that we live off of. for our small business.
Yeah.
So, or for our lives. So if that puts anything in perspective, is that Stitch was not a large part of our income. So all of my energy is over here. Well, kind of back to just what I knew I loved and enjoyed doing, and decided that with Stitched that we needed to niche down and become known for a certain type of apparel, custom apparel. And so I've been toying with a name change for a little bit, just because I never really liked Stitched overall. It kind of fell in that direction from 4 years ago. That was the LLC that was created and all of that. And because we also had expanded so much beyond just me sewing. When I started the business, it was a sewing business, literally on a sewing machine, to embroidery, and then to screen printing and digital printing and heat pressing and all of that. So I think that's why I wasn't super in love with that name. And I always would kind of stumble on it. So I brought the idea to Evan. Hey, why don't we just niche down? Let's focus on sports. So custom team and spirit apparel for local leagues, schools, organizations. And so then we did that pivot with our custom apparel business. So now with Stitch, which is now called Varsity House Outfitters, which I love. I love that name. It just, and of course for short, call it Varsity House. And we'll work with local sports leagues.
Yep.
So we work a lot with the CYFL, doing some spirit gear for some other leagues and travel teams, schools. Now we've partnered with Northview High School and working with their athletics department in order to fulfill their online store. So if you go to Northview and you go to their athletics online store, that website was built by us. It's fulfilled by us. And then we also are setting up at a lot of Northview events. And we were at all the home football games. We're going to try to get to some other games. We haven't been to a lot of other games because, mind you, this all kind of happened super, super recently when my schedule was already booked up with a lot of other markets and events. So next year, I would say, or in the spring, because we haven't filled that calendar up yet, we'll be at more Northview events. And what's amazing about it is then we're donating a % of the profit back to Northview. So it's a direct pipeline of raising money for Northview athletics. And that's something else too that we're doing with Haute Co. Yes, I'm making spirit gear for all of these schools, but guess what? It's going back to those schools too. Recently, we just partnered with Terre Haute South cheerleading team in order to sponsor their pink out game sweaters. So I was like, you know what, we're going to do these for them, and was able to pretty much donate a few $100s back to their organization, back to the school. So that is, I think, what is most fulfilling out of everything, is that we're able to do this and then also give back to athletics. But at the same time, I say the school in overall too, because, you know, having a nice gym facility helps everybody.
Absolutely.
You know, it helps the players on the court, but also those in the bleachers too. You know, the bleachers are nice. The bathrooms are nice. You know, our local school wants to make sure our facilities are nice and top tier,
because you want to host those big games. You want to host the big tournaments to
bring
bring more money in. It's a cycle. It's a cycle.
Yeah.
And you want to be the top tier so you can keep the cycle going.
So I know I say, back to athletics, but it really does impact a lot of different I mentioned, the turf, you know, on the football field here at Northview. Well, who's also on the turf? The band.
Soccer.
There's not holes in the field that the band is. And I know soccer being I'm talking about like non-athletics.
Right.
And so there's not holes all over the field for the band to perform and be able to have the performance that they have. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's been quite a, I guess 4 months, 5 months.
Well, I mean, since May, we've just had a lot of changes and things going on since May.
From a fire hose since May, it seems. Like, trying to stay above water.
And then I decided with Haute Co to move storefronts in the middle of all this.
She did. She had great timing.
So a few weeks ago, I don't know why randomly I was like, you know what? I'm just curious what this storefront, this other location in the mall, what the rent was for it. Again, we have loved being in the Haute City Center. Our storefront has been there for 2 years. This past November, or this next month, November. We started moving in 2 years in October, and we opened the beginning of November in our current location. And I'm just going to give a shout out to the Haute City Center. I know a lot of people are like, the mall, there's nothing there. There is stuff there. And to me, I really approached it as a kind of like a strip mall type of situation. There are a lot of small businesses there. We all can have our own hours. It gives us the freedom to not have to be open all of the mall hours. There are still some big names in there in the mall: Hollister, American Eagle, Maurice's, Earthbound, Ulta, JCPenney. You know, there's a lot of still big names in there. I know there's some vacancies, but still some great small businesses there. So again, a lot of our traffic in there is walk-ins. I mean, whether they follow us on social media or not, but sometimes it's just people walking to Hollister who see us and they're like, oh, what's going on in there? And then they come in. So again, I really, really like being there. I was curious about this other location because again, with us, now I burped.
Ha! Take that.
With us expanding with what we offer in our storefront for the sports and spirit gear, we were reaching capacity pretty quickly. And for me to add more in there for the schools that we currently carry and maybe expand into some other schools, I just knew long-term our current location was not going to be able to handle that. So I reached out, found out that the other location was not that much more expensive. It's still in a great location, almost 2.5 times the current size of our storefront, and decided, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's move. Let's take the risk. Let's take the risk because we're putting a lot of money into inventory, right? And that's probably the most nerve-wracking thing about owning a small business, that you're like a boutique, right? You're spending all this money on inventory and hoping somebody's going to buy it. So I knew with the larger space, we're going to have to make that investment into inventory, adding in multiple different, variations of things like different shirts, sweaters, hoodies, polo shirts, all of this. So anyways, Monday after Covered Bridge Week is over, next Monday, I guess, we're moving our storefront to a new location. And we're going to reopen on November 1st.
Yeah. And luckily, this episode will drop before November 1st. And where are you going to be located?
We are relocating to the spot right across from American Eagle. So my friend, Brooklyn Johnson, she closed her business in there, Pure Bell Boutique, earlier this year. It's been vacant since then. And again, I just realized there wasn't going to be a holiday pop-up shop there and thought, you know what, this may be meant to be. Had a friend had the space before me and she did a wonderful job with making some updates to it, and thought, hey, at least we can maintain that for her. So right across from American Eagle, you won't be able to miss us when you walk into the mall. If you go past Ulta, you'll see us right on the left-hand side as you turn the corner.
It's going to be a big space. We're going to fill it up. There's going to be some sports memorabilia. There'll be some other things there. And it's just going to be a fun time. I'm going to be working the storefront from time to time.
Yes. I told him.
Party Wednesdays.
I think on Wednesdays, because I do want to open up more hours. It is hard when you have employees and staffing, and especially when I'm here running the embroidery machines or, we're printing or such. It's hard for us to be there all the time. So I thought now that it's going to be a little less girly and feminine, it's going to be a more masculine space, or overall, he can work the storefront. Now he will not be doing jewelry, the permanent jewelry on Wednesdays. So
I think I should. I need a training course.
I may train you.
May train me. Why not? What an honor would that be to get?
There are some men that do it.
I know I can do it.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've seen you try to fix a toilet. And I don't know if this would be a good career move for you.
Soldering.
Yeah, but the minute you were gonna get frustrated with it, you're gonna
wrong.
throw my pliers across the way because
you're talking to my guy wrong. You do it face. You do it again. I'm gonna stab you in the face with soldering iron.
It's not an iron. We don't solder either. We weld.
Weld.
Oh goodness.
We'll see.
This is gonna be a long training period.
I'll be the entertainment, so the music may be up a little louder. It may be on a different radio station than what my wife usually prefers, but on Wednesdays, I'll be there. And it's going to be fun. Maybe we'll record some TikToks while we're in there. You come on in,
fine.
Buy some stuff. We'll record a TikTok or take a picture, take a selfie. I don't really care.
And I think that's another thing to add with us kind of pivoting the businesses. It also has allowed me to open up and let him in more. And I feel like your personality more into what we are doing. Whereas before I was trying to uphold this image of like,
what's she saying, Bliss? I'm white trash.
No, I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. But again,
you're not a bougie person.
Again,
you wear white socks with black shoes. How dare you?
But I realize that I'm not like that either. This is my mom uniform. It's a quarter zip and a pair of joggers, If you see me wearing black joggers all the time, I'm going to just clarify something right here is that I own 7 pairs of them. I own 7 pairs of black joggers. And so if I'm wearing them every day, I promise you they are not the ones from the day before.
Wear one per day.
Yes. Yeah. And then I have multiple quarter zips. You'll know that those are changing because they're different colors and such, but black joggers and then tennis shoes. That's why I realized I needed to pivot Haute Co and Varsity House into kind of just more of like comfort and
leisure wear.
Sports and spirit.
Yeah.
Because that's what I fall into.
Yeah. Well, so do I. wear basketball shorts.
And this coverall.
I need to get more of these. Like, I need to talk.
He wants me to stock these in the storefront, but I don't know. I think they're more coach apparel.
We can do coach apparel too. Coaches are people too. They're spirit people too. They're fan gear. Coaches are people too.
But usually these come from the school. Like that's part of what the team. That's Varsity House.
Yeah,
that's what we would do through Varsity House.
Maybe they want a Dinerpod one.
We may have some Dinerpod gear. I told him we will see how much room we have left when we relocate all of the gear and get the display set up to see if maybe I can find a little sliver of a corner for some Dinerpod gear for him.
Yeah, you'll be regretting that when I'm the best seller in the store, pal.
Yeah. Well, you don't even make hourly rate.
No, I make. Please, sir, may I have some more?
Your bills are paid and you have a roof over your head.
That's right.
And you just ate Mario's.
I did.
And they always joke because they hand you the bill, yet they know I'm going to pay.
They hand me the bill and I just hand it right over there. It's pretty easy. But, well, that's some little information about
That's a lot of information.
Well, yeah, there's probably more. But
there's more.
There's more. But we ain't got time.
We don't. Not today. Next episode.
At this time.
Anniversary episode.
Oh, gosh.
What?
At this time, we want to thank our sponsors that make this possible. Wabash Valley Plumbing, RJ's Formal Wear, Varsity House Outfitters,
woo,
and Haute Co.
Yay.
Also, I want to thank our subscribers on Facebook. For 99 cents per month, you can support the Diner Podcast, and I would appreciate it. But it's less than a cup of coffee. Don't feel obligated. Cancel anytime. That's my spiel. I don't like doing that, but I got to do it. You got to keep people happy. So thank you, sponsors. Thank you, subscribers. Thank you, coaches. Thank you, parents. And thank you for taking the time to talk.
Thank you.
We're out of here. Keep pushing. Love y'all.